Millions of people step into a gym every single day to lift heavy weights. But despite all the sweat and exhaustion, only a tiny fraction of them are actually triggering new muscle growth. The human body is exceptionally efficient, and muscle tissue is expensive to keep around. It burns a massive amount of calories just to exist. Your biology actively resists adding mass to preserve energy for more vital functions. Moving a load through space is a mechanical task, but it is rarely a growth stimulus on its own. Forcing the body to expand its physical capacity requires a deliberate, systemic biological crisis. Understanding how to force that adaptation requires looking past the plates and the sweat. We need to zoom from the macro mechanics of the gym floor all the way into the microscopic cellular anatomy of the muscle itself. Hypertrophy relies on a precise sequence of biological triggers, starting with a fundamental disruption of the body's internal status quo. The process starts with physical isolation. To grow the chest, a lifter might use a dumbbell fly to specifically target the sternal head of the pectoralis muscle, concentrating mechanical stress where the adaptation needs to occur. Beneath the skin, the work is strictly neurological. As the lift begins, the nervous system fires electrical impulses down the spinal cord, commanding muscle fibers to contract against the resistance. This follows Henneman's size principle, a rule stating that motor units are recruited in order of their size. To save energy, the nervous system first relies on smaller, slow-twitch motor units, fibers designed for endurance rather than power. As those endurance fibers fatigue, the nervous system is forced to recruit massive, high-threshold type 2 fast-twitch fibers to keep the weight moving. These are the specific fibers that possess the capacity for significant growth. Reaching absolute muscular failure is a neurological tool. It is the only way to ensure these large, growth-prone fibers are fully recruited and exposed to the stress of the lift. The most significant stress occurs when the muscle lengthens under a load. This is the eccentric, or negative, phase of the repetition, where the tissue is forced to stretch while resisting the weight. Deep inside the muscle, past the protective connective sheaths, are bundles of individual striated cylinders called myofibrils. These are the basic rod-like units that house the machinery for every contraction. Inside those cylinders, movement happens through the sliding filament theory. Microscopic protein structures called myosin heads continuously grab, pull, and release thinner actin filaments in a cycle that shortens the muscle. During a heavy negative, mechanical tension overloads this process. As the muscle lengthens, these bound filaments are violently pulled apart, causing physical microtears inside the sarcomeres, which are the basic functional units of the muscle. This microscopic physical damage is the goal of the training session. The biological crisis has been engineered, and the body's internal state is now officially disrupted. After the workout, the muscle enters a vulnerable state of catabolic breakdown, where the body begins to dismantle damaged proteins. Nutrition halts this process. Simple sugars and amino acids spikes insulin levels, which signals the system to shift resources into structural repair. In the sarcoplasm, the fluid-filled area within the muscle cell, the repair begins. This activates ribosomes, which are the microscopic protein factories responsible for building new tissue. Through translation, a process where genetic code is used to build amino acid sequences, these ribosomes synthesize new proteins. They patch the microtears and add new sarcomeres in parallel to the existing ones, reinforcing the fiber. Adding these sarcomeres side by side increases the overall thickness of the muscle fiber. This chemical recovery phase is where the actual expansion of the muscle occurs. Once recovery is complete, the muscle is fortified. It is now denser and thicker than it was before the workout. This chart maps the rising trend of muscle mass over time, showing localized dips from workout damage followed by higher peaks of overcompensation. To keep this line moving up, you must apply progressive overload, gradually increasing the weight or repetitions. Supporting this trend requires precise lifestyle management. Deep sleep is mandatory for tissue repair, and cardiovascular training must be performed separately from weights to avoid interfering with the anabolic signaling in the muscle. Maintaining this trigger requires meticulous data. Recording daily body weight, nutritional macros, and specific lift metrics ensures the biological stress is continuously escalating. This is the reality of high-level bodybuilding, the deliberate cellular-level engineering of human adaptation.